to my farming channel, and here I'm going to be showing you the tomatoes which I was doing. I have cabbages which I had actually done already, so now it's time for harvesting. I have a few for sales, and I'm going to show you my tomatoes now from the time I had my last video until now. I've done a little bit of, I can see, I've missed a few notches, but I'm glad that I really came here on time to really fix up and tie up. So I'm going to show you the plot. So we remember that the tomatoes are flowering like this, but now we can see actual fruits. So if you take a good look, we can see a few fruits between the spaces. So what really happened, if you're doing strings, I knew it would have happened. So I actually had to do a video to show you guys the benefit in doing the strings. Yes, it's a very good practice, but there's a little thing that you have to do. So here you can see there is a string came from the stick right here, and it came all the way to this picket right here. So what I really did, because of the weight of the tomatoes, it tends to slacken the strings. I think there is a string that it's not that slack, but let me show you an example right here, because I haven't done this one yet. So you see that the string is slack, and these tomato trees they're not likely straight. So you can see like they came that way, and then the string goes so that means it is slack. It's not the best of slack, but it's a little slack. So what I does, I look for my last and final, just think of that here. So I look for my last and final topping, tie a string to this top here, and then I place the picket. For this one, I'll have to place the picket way in the back of here. So the string is going to attach from here and go all the way with the picket through there. So that's going to pull back this and keep it standing, because the weight of the tomatoes, you can see, they're bearing pretty heavy. Kind of like the first bearing. I mean, that's the first bearing. I haven't had any problem except for this one here. I have to, I think there's a little bug infesting that, so I'm gonna have to make a spray a little bit later. I don't really use chemical on my plants, but if I see something that doesn't require the suit, then I'm gonna fix them off. So you can see that there's another picket with a string right here. So this is what I've been doing from end to end. End to end, I've done that practice here. You can see a double string because there is 2 rows. So all I need to do now is clean up, and I got a little bit of necessary times to do. So as you can see, all of them is onto the pickets, run through there. So I'm saying this is a very good practice for tomatoes. So this one, I gotta get a stick for it. It's kind of sticking out of the stick, so I gotta get a stick for it. So I'm saying this to show you guys that if you're doing tomatoes, I mean, I recommend this practice. It's way cheaper. I mean, you may have to purchase the rope, the banana rope. We call it banana rope. I don't know how other persons call it. You'll have to purchase the rope, and but it's a little bit cheaper because you're just gonna purchase the rope and just get some sticks. You can get some strong bamboos, or you can get some hardwood sticks. Not the soft, hardwood. So you look for a tree that is very hard in stem and structure, and then you use this. I won't recommend you get it thin like this. I recommend you get it thick like this, so you can withstand the pressure, because I have gotten a few that was broken when I started pulling to get the strings a little tight. Some sticks had broken, and I had to actually like go behind schedule. So as I'm showing you, I was saying earlier on with the slack string, here is a very good example of a slack string. See, that what really happens when you use thin sticks. They flex, and then they leave that short in a second. So you pull it off. I don't really necessarily use this one here as well, but I can actually like pull it back. I can untie it here, So I've tied it in a way that I can untie it. So I can untie it and pull it back with a little string just to give it a second tie. So I have a few tying to do. This tree here doesn't look too like tomatoes to me, but I'm gonna, shift it a little bit so you don't get into contact with the others and spread whatsoever material you get picked up. And I'm just gonna say I'm glad that you guys are many various types of stuff. So here I can see always sanitize. What I have to do right here now, if you're doing your tomatoes on bed, I'm gonna see if you want a longer duration of time in your tomatoes bearing and you don't want to really get a 2 months or a 3 months bear, I have gotten a very cool idea which is going to be very unique. Since tomatoes is a very easy, I can say, vegetable to grow in the nursery, from seeds, wherever you're doing it. Even if you can take a stalk from the tomatoes, I can cut out that here. I can cut it by up here so, and I can plant that, and the root here is going to send out roots. So since that tomatoes is a very easy plant to grow, it's very easy to grow. I'm not going to tell you it's any hard to grow. The only hard stuff in tomatoes is sticking and keeping them up. So since it's very easy to grow, what I have to do here is I don't must pull out the weeds, because the technique I'm doing, I'm going to get some more mold and I'm going to try to give it the mold to reach up here. So all this is going to be taking the place of roots. So the more I want the plant bare and look better is the more soil I gotta put. So if I can see I can get soil, I can reach approximately up here for all the stems, that's gonna be good because they're gonna send roots here. Okay, so it's very easy to grow. I'm gonna see if I see one that is sending root high up. Like I said, that's the only structured one I see sending its root very high up. So you can see from up here, it's actually rooting and a little bit in the back of here. So this is under the tree. So I'm saying what you really have to do is, if you're doing it on beds, actually, like when you fuck up the beds and the beds get up high, as long as the rain continue falling and you continue wetting, it's just going to go back down flat. So you have to give it a little boost up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some mold and I'm going to come back. I have to tie a few and then I'm going to mold them and I'm going to prune them one time, which means I'm going to break off the leaves that causing the crowdiness. I don't really want the crowdiness and I don't want too many leaves. I want fruits and not leaves. So thank you guys for watching on my channel. So my cabbages, I have to cut a few for sale. They were not the best production I ever had, but I'm kind of thankful for it now because we had a very critical weather condition. As you can see, this one here is actually busting. This one here is actually busting. They are very good cabbages. I can use them home. I want to use them for sale. And because of the rain, they had get too much of water. So I'm going to show you the next section of cabbages. I don't know if anybody watched my videos recently. I had these cabbages a very small time ago. Sorry, small time, a little while now. And they were very young. And you can see, this is why I really want to give them the first dose of spraying. Let me see if I see anything like flies. I see little mealybugs around, so I'm going to be giving them a dose of spraying. Hopefully they are looking very promising. I'm very satisfied with the production I'm getting here, and I'm really thankful for it because I have taken care of them. So what I would recommend, you don't wet too much. In cabbages you don't wet too much, you wet when necessary. So if rain falls for the first 2-3 days, you can see that the ground is still wet here. So you leave them, let this dry out, let it take out all the water in it, and then you give them another wetting. Also, you give them a little cleanup every now and then because you don't want the roots competing with your plant, taking the nutrients what you had put there. So I have to give them a little dose of spraying. I'm very glad to see how the leaves are widely spreading, and trust me, they're looking really promising. I don't want to go and do too much there. And I'm gonna say in the stage of this stage, I don't recommend you mold any of them. I've done that recently and I've failed. When they reach this stage, we don't mold. Actually, the ground is already soft. You can see my cutlass can just run through that. It's very soft. If you mold now, the roots are all between there. I think I can see a few roots, not just a little bit over the ground. So you don't want to mold now. What can happen, you can scrape a few dusties, and if you have the time, you can pad the leaves and send it down through there. You don't want the dust go settling inside of here because you're going to rotten the plant. So if you want to put dust on your bed and you find it doesn't have enough dust, I recommend you use a spade or a small shovel, and you take your time and pat the leaves. So I can say if you want to put some dust, you pat the leaves and you let go the dust inside of there to build it up. If you want to do that, it's gonna take some time. If you have the time and you can do it, then yeah. But I don't recommend you mold them in a stage like that because the roots are anyway. Also, I'll be using a fast edge. I'm going to show you the fast edge quickly. I think I've got to make a little move. So I did some lettuces. Actually, my partner, we were experiencing some of these things. Thank God there is a demonstration here to show. So you can see how this lettuce leaf is look like it's stacked here. So there's a little bug that's infesting it, and we had tried a fast edge, which is this bottle here. I'd pay roughly $45 for that stuff. So you can say $50 can get you a gallon like this. And we had given it one spray, and the results is very good. No joke. The results are the best. What's the best results I have seen in 1 day time? So it's really a fast edge, and you can see 5 seconds. So I'm gonna be spraying my tomatoes, these cabbages, and I have some lettuce on the other side. I haven't have the nursery to spray, so I'm gonna be doing all this afternoon. I have to come down here, do a little cleanup today, and maybe tomorrow, please the Lord, I can get the mold and full up give the tomatoes a little bit more molding up, let they be a little more stronger in roots. And then I have to know what I'm putting back here because I don't have an option as yet, and I don't want the place getting infested with bush. I mean, you have a little, but I control it very well since the cabbages were there. So thank you guys for watching on my channel. Now I'm going to be harvesting my cabbages. I have a few sales, and I'll be coming to another video when I'm going to be using the fast edge this afternoon to spray, and I'm going to show you how I use it and how many I use per water and the can, and how many amount of spray I give to the plant, because I don't really want the plant to be taking in too much of this stuff. Just for the insecticide, I should have sprayed it earlier, and maybe I may not spray the tomatoes. I'm not too sure because I think I should have been doing that since the early stage. I don't want this stuff to be going on the fruits and cause any harm. But I'm gonna try at least one row. I'm gonna try this row there. I'm gonna give it a day to see what the fast edge does to the plant and the fruits. But other than that, I have to put back a few things here. I think I'll be doing some cabbages here also. Some cabbages should go up so since this is the first stage, I have to put on my second stage, and then afterwards I have to put on my third stage. So maybe this afternoon, after spraying these cabbages there, I may put on the cabbages up there. It can take me late up to the night, that's no problem. I think there's light outside there. So I'm gonna come here first and clean it. Then I'm gonna spray the cabbages, and then afterwards I'm gonna take off the cabbages which I already harvested at the top side, and I'm gonna bring the other cabbages in because here are a little bit advanced. So like I say again, once again, thank you for watching on my channel. I hope you guys find it very useful to you guys if you're doing gardening, if you want to do a little home gardening for yourself, and you want to comment, you want to share any of the thoughts, observation, you want to ask any question, I think you can do it under my YouTube comments, and I'm going to be very thankful and coming to make us feel comfortable in farming, seeing little ways that can be done easily, and actually making everybody see that farming is not that so much of a hard work. So I'm glad you guys are here to see my video, and I'm going to be saying thanks to you all for watching.